Happiness through curiosity on TRS Clips.
How did you feel when you were seeing rocketry for the first time?
Actually, I don't know. Actually, what I did, I was associated with the production of it in the script writing. Actually, we were discussing this for 1 year, myself and Madhavan. So once you repeatedly discuss certain things and then what to include, what not to include, and then the film is produced based on an agreed script.
Yeah.
Okay. And when the picture is completed, when I saw this, I was not happy. I felt that something is missing. It is not really. And I asked Madhavan. Madhavan also said, I also feel. Then we identified that something is wrong in the editing part of it. So we got hold of a veteran editor who was a young fellow, very young fellow. He did the magic. And then the entire thing was shown. I was not becoming emotional, excepting 1 or 2 scenes while I was watching the movie. One scene was my wife was shouting when I came into the house. That was taken in one shot. It was a single shoot. It was done. Simran has done a wonderful thing. That I became emotional because that is something which you can't bear with that. It is that recollected me the original scenario moment. Then the second scene where I became not emotional in the sense, not pathetic, but I became proud of myself, having stated that I will not excuse you. At the end of the scene, I come as a person and then say that it can't be forgiven. You can't forgive that. So
Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Right.
And if I do that, then it becomes a routine affair. And that was something I was feeling proud of saying that. And we discussed and debated a lot of things. Will the audience like it? Will they? I said, whether they like it or not, this is the truth. Now we are going to speak the truth. You remember, I told him. But I will tell you, the picture got overwhelming. I saw this movie along with the audience in Bombay, Madras, Bangalore, and Trivandrum. I saw uniformly, if there is an emotional scene, in all the 5 places, the emotions were the same. Or if there is a clapping, it was same. So the feeling of the general public is the same, no matter which language they speak. But most important thing which I have found out is everyone believed what was shown to them. You know the reason? Because we are speaking the truth. The truth is believable. It is not that we have exaggerated anything. We have just shown. In fact, the actual torture, if it is shown, somebody may say it is exaggerated.
You're not comfortable speaking about exactly what happened, right?
Not comfortable in the sense it was much more than the torturous scenes which are shown. Most cruel way of doing it. But the question is, it is not the persons who did the torture.
It is their bosses.
Yes, I don't know at that time why they are. But one thing is that torture was so heavy, I came to a position where I am not going to go back on this. I am not going to submit to their torture. That became a rigid attitude of mine. So, for example, they were not giving me a seat, they were not giving me water to drink, and they were asking me to stand. At that standing position, one fellow asked me, how long do you think you will stand? I said, as long as my physique permits. And this I said with a conviction, not as a dramatic way. I just said, as long as my physique permits me, I will stand. I did that. And after about, I don't count the time because no watch, no time is there. I think approximately 30 hours. Then I collapsed on the floor. While collapsing also, I am aware that I am falling down. It is not I am falling down on my own. Your legs are not able to stand your weight and things like that. So this is what has happened in that during that time. So the truth is being shown, the people believe it. I'll tell you, anywhere if we would have exaggerated, people would be believing everything is a wax.
Yeah. Um. Okay. There's a part of me that wants to say sorry on behalf of the country in the way Shah Rukh
This is
Khan
what Shah Rukh Khan said.
says.
And so-
And then I've also seen the movie, so I won't say sorry on behalf of the country because I know you've not completely accepted the apology.
yeah.
Shouldn't, in my eyes. Have you met the guys who were in that room with you?
You mean in the torturous?
Yeah.
See, I am trying my best to locate them. Okay. You won't believe it, excepting one character, none of the fellows I could see in my life afterwards for the past 30 years. I have been telling them, in fact, one fellow told me, sir, we will prove it to you, you are the spy. And then if you prove it to me back that I am not the spy, you chapel me with your chapel. I have told in more than one interview, I am ready with my chapel. But nobody turns down. Then another interesting thing was, for example, one character, very interesting. They were determined not to disclose who they are. So one fellow came and then said, hello, you tell me that, we have to. Then this fellow says, shh, like that. I am telling that fellow's name left and right in many interviews in order to tease him, in order to invite him for a discussion. But he never comes. I am telling him that, please come. But I am not able to see any one of them, even in the court. Not even one fellow. So these are all people who are living in, I hope they are living. And there was one fellow who was talking something very big in the sense, he will do this, he will do that, he will beat me, all kinds of things. After all, over and above the torture. And I was told, I didn't go there because along with their team, I was told that when they went there recently, after identifying him as one of the accused, the fellow comes with a folder of medical reports saying that he has blood pressure, he has this, he has that, he has falling at the feet of these people saying that, excuse me, don't ever arrest me, etc., etc. So that is where your first question comes valid. I was telling to myself that one day these fellows will pay for their sins. And that is what is happening.
Were these members of the Kerala police?
No, actually there were Kerala police as well as the IB. Majority of them who were in the interrogation were the IB people.
Okay.
And IB people, you know by name. You know these are the names, but you don't know which name refers who. Whether the mustache fellow is so and so, whether that fellow, no, you don't know. Because you have not seen them before or you have not seen them after. So,
I mean, I wonder how the intelligence bureau got the wrong information or intelligence about you. Intelligence is basically data that they use to validate the cases that they want to go after.
they never validated it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, that this is the intelligence bureau of our country.
It is fabricated case. The finding of the Supreme Court itself is a false case.
No, I'm trying to highlight the lack of correct work on their end. I'm not highlighting.
I'm exactly telling you that if the fellows are originally thinking it is a true case and finally they found out it is a wrong case, then you are right. But I am saying in the beginning itself, they knew that they are fabricating it.
Okay.
Otherwise, how it has become a fabricated case? False case.
And you're still trying to get to the depths of where that fabrication originated from?
I have gone to the depth of the case in the sense that you have to find out from them where from they got the instructions. Questions like, why are you behaving like this? Why did you behave like this? I know the answer. Everybody will say that so-and-so told me to do this.
I've done enough podcasts in my life to know that very often with national issues, there is geopolitics at play. Geopolitics is extremely dependent on the scientific and economic progress of the country. Now, in many ways, you are one of the most key players in the scientific progress of the country in the 90s. Have you ever thought that some geopolitical powers had their eye on you?
Sure, it is. Actually, when you said that 90s, I just want to recall the recent Gaganyaan project, just 1 month back or some 20 days back. You know, which the Gaganyaan, that escape module was carried by a single rocket, which is nothing but a Vikas engine. That is the only engine which I have developed. In other places, it has worked in conjunction with so many. Here it is a sole rocket. So it is not only 90s, even today, it is very much there. Yeah.
I'm highlighting 90s because that's where stuff happened.
No, I understand.
But, very direct question. America was in power that time. Now, imagine they are seeing another fantastic scientist who could have been theirs, but is serving an upcoming economic power in India. If you want to take out the Indian cricket team, first you take out Virat Kohli. From a geopolitical perspective, if you want to slow down a country, you take out the scientific and economic Virat Kohlis. You were a scientific Virat Kohli. I'm sorry, I'm trivializing.
No, it is exactly, the comparison is very much correct.
So, was the American government possibly responsible? Have you ever thought that maybe they put pressure on the Indian government to trouble you?
No, not the Indian government. They put the pressure on the Russian government to close the contract of the cryogenic contract. And the Russian government obeyed simply because there were no USSR. It was...
I'm actually talking in relation with your case, sir.
Yeah, in my case only. At that time, the Americans applied pressure on the Russians just to close the contract of the cryogenic with India. And instead of technology, that is, they should not give the technology because they said that they can be used for ICBMs and IRBMs, which is untrue, and etc. Then the Russians were willing to obey the request of the American counterpart. So that is the reason which has led to this.
Have you ever looked at yourself as a scapegoat of geopolitics?
This is nothing but that. What you're saying is nothing but that. This is how it goes. The only question here, which is unanswered, is that yes, they are interested, and who are the real black sheep here? Who is the person who did that? For that, they have identified so many people. Conspiracy is the reason. Now they are trying to find out who is the real person for that.
So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to TRS Clips for more.